Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Board Game Breakfast. We're glad to have you here in the second week of January, is it? It is the second week of January. Welcome to 2022 on the Dice Tower, the 20th year of us putting out reviews about board games. We're going to start with a contest for an upcoming game from Pandasaurus. You can see one of the games behind me, That Time You Killed Me. Pandasaurus also has a game coming out called Skull Canyon Ski Fest. And you can win one of two copies of this. All you have to do to enter this contest is email us at contest@dicetower.com. And in the subject line, put the word slalom. S-L-A-L-O-M.
Slalom.
Slalom. What does that mean?
It's a type of skiing.
It's a type of skiing, Mike says. I probably should know that. Although we were talking about this earlier, I think last week we were talking about this, Mike. Mm-hmm. I've never skied.
Yeah.
I think I'm one of the few in the studio who's never skied. Yeah. It's difficult to ski in Florida, so there's that. Anyway, you also have to answer the question in the body that says, what color is the snowboard on the cover of Skull Canyon Ski Fest? Alrighty, well, just answer that question, and you might win a copy of Skull Canyon Ski Fest. And now you've all learned something, unless you're like me, and if you're like me. Anyhow, it's the week of our Kickstarter, in case you haven't figured that out. There's a lot of stuff going on. Our Kickstarter launches in 27 hours at noon tomorrow, Eastern Standard Time. So we've been working on this hard, putting it together. You can get notified for the launch of that. Just go to dicetowerkickstarter.com, and we have the preview page up there, and you can sign up for that. I'll talk more about our Kickstarter a little bit later, but let's talk about some board games. Here we go.
Hi, it's Tarrant.
And Stella here from Meeple University and the Dice Tower. Do you like Advent Calendar, Tarrant?
It's always good, and I'm always pretty good at sticking to the day when I can.
I'm not. But anyways, this is another Advent Calendar that is very exciting. We are a big fan of Exit the Game because all the games of Exits has been amazing and kind of like outside the box, sort of puzzle solving, escape room-ish type of game.
Indeed.
So very excited to see that they've got Advent Calendar, so you kind of like solve it once a day. I can't really open it because it'll be a bit of a spoiler.
Yes, we've already drawn some things on here, and so we can't show you inside, but there are, of course, doors, as there would always be.
Yeah. There's little rooms as well inside, and then there's stuff coming out of it, and then you can solve it. There's, what else? The diary. Oh, thank you.
Yes. And I do like the feature they've got on here. If you can see that the length to play is 24 days, which is very appropriate.
That is very. I saw that too. I was like, oh, that's really smart. So I would highly recommend this if you like Advent Calendar, or just like exit the game really, because you can technically sit down in one day and solve everything.
But why would you do that?
Yeah, because it's fun.
That would break the spirit.
We are behind anyway, so we did.
That's true. It arrived late for us. So we're already halfway through the month before we even got to Punch Door 1.
Yes, we still have a few days that we haven't solved yet. And they're really good puzzles as well. So watch out for outside the box. I mean, literally outside. No, not really. Like all of them are outside the box. Yes. All right, and that's it. Thanks for watching.
This is a segment where we take a look at a board game based on an IP, and I tell you if the IP and the mechanisms match. Today we're looking at Baby Shark, Party at the Reef. What's going to do on a turn is everybody's going to work together. So the players are going to win if you get all three of the people up here. If you fill up all the seaweed and you put 5 of these out, then you lose the game. Although, after playing the game, I'm not really sure there is a way to lose it. And so it's Baby Shark is going to move. So you're going to roll the dice, and you're going to move that many spots. 1, 2, 3. If you land on the person, then you will take the colored person of that color, and you will, whatever color you are, you put it up here at the party. They're now at the party. Then the next player will go. Let's go, let's go. Which means if there was a seaweed on here, or a reef, then you could take this off if it lands up. Also, if you roll the dice and you roll seaweed, you would add another one on here. When everybody gets up here, you win the game. Baby Shark originally was a campfire song that people would sing, and it kind of grew into a YouTube video, and it's grown out of that. I'm not really sure how it became so popular or why we now have a children's board game based on it, but here we stand. It's kind of weird that you're trying to get Mommy, Daddy, and Baby Shark all to the party, but they're not going together. Daddy might rush ahead and leave Mommy and Baby Shark back to not make it to the party. So that's what we're doing here. It does incorporate the song into the game, which is neat. You have that little music box. I think that works well. Now, the game didn't come with any rules. There are no rules to the game. You just kind of make them up as you go, and I have confirmed that. So it's kind of a weird experience that you have, but I'll be honest, my 3-year-old just likes pressing the button and hearing the music and moving Baby Shark and Mommy Shark and Daddy Shark around. So the IP and the mechanisms really don't work well together. It's a very bad game, and I regret my life for purchasing it.
Baby Shark, doo 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 doo. I thought I played the worst games of the Dice Tower crew. Apparently not. Alrighty. Well, what are we talking about? 30 years ago was 1992. And we're talking about games that came out 30 years ago. So today's game, well, incidentally, we're talking about kids' games. This is Looping Louie. So Looping Louie is a game, and it's hard to explain without you having seen it, but there's this mechanized airplane that's going to spin around in a circle, like you can see here in the picture. And as it comes around, it's going to try to knock these little tokens of chickens, which are not in the picture for some reason, off. And you have to hit it with your flipper before it does. And so Looping Louie just goes, he'll fly up and down, and you're trying to hit it with enough force that it skips your chickens, but hits somebody else's before they can hit it with their flipper to come back and hit yours. This was remade a couple times. There's a Goofy version of it, Barn Buzzing Goofy, and there's a Chewbacca one and a Millennium Falcon for some reason or not. Now, Looping Louie is straight up a kids game. There's a lot of these mechanized kids games that exist. For some reason, this one hit the zeitgeist in the sense that for a while, when I was first into reviewing board games 20 years ago, this was very popular amongst many people who played games. They would play all these heavy Euro games, and they also played Looping Louie. Why Looping Louie and not Rebound or many other games that were out? There's lots of these funny games out there, Yeti, Spaghetti, and all this sort of thing. This one, for some reason, was out there. I don't know why. There were tournaments of this at conventions. There still are tournaments of this at conventions. Now, I'm amused by the game. It's an amusing game to play. It's silly, it's fun, as many kids' games are. I am still impressed by the number of adults who play this one, but then won't play the many other hundreds of kids' games that are out there. But I digress. Recently, I was at Board Game Geek Con, and I saw someone had, and they gave it to me, the information, you could order from Germany a motor, or at least a chip or something, that you can modify it so that they'll speed up, and then it will slow down, and then speed up, and it will stop. I thought that was hilarious. I want to get that for mine. There's also mods where you can change it from a 4-player game to an 8-player game, so lots of people can play to add more to the chaos. It's fine. You could probably find this at a garage sale, thrift store somewhere for a fairly inexpensive price. And for some reason, like I said, it's at all board game cons, but I don't normally see like all the Haba games at board game cons that are also funny and silly like this. But anyway, Looping Louie, 30 years old, it's fine.
Hey, I'm Grant with Grant's Game Rex, and today I'm recommending the little game Nice Buns. And to be clear, I'm recommending the game Nice Buns. I'm not recommending the cat call Nice Buns. The game Nice Buns, light, easy set collection game, good for families. The cat call Nice Buns, not good for anybody. Don't do it. Makes you look stupid and nobody likes it. Stop. The components in this game are really high quality, and they definitely elevate the experience for me. The bow buns are chunky and fun to hold and clink together, and plus, they have little smiley faces on them, So it's hard not to be happy around them. Oh, you're just so cute. In Nice Buns, you are trying to be the first player to add 3 sets of matching bow buns to your plate. On your turn, you're going to roll these dice, and each dice will allow you to do different things. This allows you to pull random buns from the bag. This allows you to grab something in those colors from this plate, and this dice allows you to do special things like steal a bun from another player or swap buns with them, things like that. Having the 3 different dice that allow you to do different things definitely adds more strategy to this game than it might appear at first glance. But that being said, it's still a very light game. I mean, this is a game you want to play with kids, families, that sort of stuff. I don't know if it's a game you're going to play with a bunch of adults, unless everybody really likes nice buns, Maybe you can say it to each other, Don't say it to people out there, but say it to each other and play nice buns.
Baby. All right. I just played Nice Buns over the weekend with my kids. He's right. It's very, 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 very light. All right. So what's happening on the Dice Tower this week? Well, seriously, if you haven't heard, we have a Kickstarter launching tomorrow. But I get that that's not why you're here. You're here for the content. Well, folks, good news. We got content going up this week. So last week we did Q&As with almost all the people on the Dice Tower, but not all of them. Z did not do one. His is going up today. Instead of doing what's happening at 10 a.m. and 49 minutes from now, Z will be doing his live Q&A. And then I'll be doing mine at noon. Mine, I'll be specifically talking about Kickstarter stuff. So if you have questions and things about the Kickstarter, then that is a chance for you to ask them, and I'll answer them, hopefully. And then we're going to do a live countdown to the Kickstarter tomorrow. I got some reviews going up this week. Kami Sato with my kids, and Gutenberg, which is one of my top 10 games from last year, and Cellulose, which I think was one of Mike's top 10 last year, or it was one of his surprises. There's a lot of games that Mike surprises, though. Cellulose will probably be one of his surprises from this year, too. All right. A Foursquare review of the Lost Ruins of Arnak's expansion Leaders is going up this week. But the big news is the top 100 games of all time is starting. We got 2 of those, one Thursday and one Friday, and that will continue on for the rest of this month as we do our top 100 games of all time. Speaking of top games, last year we did our top 10 games of the year. My favorite game from last year was Ark Nova, and Mike's was Merchant's Cove. So both those games we're playing live this week, and that will also be Thursday and Friday. Thursday, Merchant's Cove. Friday, Ark Nova. And then we got other reviews going up over the course of the week. Look back, crowd surfing. Something else is happening too. Oh, Marbles. Shoots and Marbles is back. Come see that tomorrow. So there you have it. All that stuff's going on this week.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
My name is Dave Luza.
I'm Ilka Luza, and today we want to talk to you about the game Almaty.
Yes, Almaty is a tile-laying game by Funny Fox Games, and it is set in the world of 1001 Nights.
Yeah, caravans, palaces, oases, and markets feature in this game, and we just finished playing it on our stream.
Yes, we did, and the game looks like this when you're finished. This is Ilka's finished board. I just cleared mine. So this is what you start out with, and you draft tiles from this central board. The only rule is it needs to be connected, the tile needs to be connected to something that is already there.
And you need to put them in the row that you take them from, and you
Yes.
cannot turn them. They have to be one direction and one direction only. That is immediately my only criticism. Some of the cards, especially the market cards, are not so easy to
see what's up
to see what's up and what's down.
Yeah.
If you take the ruby as an orientation, we have some rubies on here, then you're good. The point always points downward, and then
Yes.
you're good.
When you put an arrow towards symbols, then you gain those.
Activate them.
You
as they're
activate them
called.
actually, and the best example is let me see, right over here, where I activate one of those tools, in which case I get to grab a mosaic, which can give me points at the end of the game.
The mosaics.
Yes.
They're
and
beautiful.
Everything works in a different way. You want to have oases connected to each other, caravans and goods in a certain amount, so you're able to ship goods at the end of the game. It is a lovely game. I really like to place tiles.
Really, really lovely. I lost, but I still like the game. I love tile laying games. This is a game where you actually have the opportunity to change the position of your tiles during the game, which is fun because you have these scoring cards. As you can see here, these are not in the correct alignment, but there are ways that I could get this one to this position. So I like that.
Yeah, you can change the board using genies, and I think that is a very... that makes the game, I feel. The genies. Trying to get a combo. Yes. You can have a combo of up to 3 genies because that's the amount of wishes you can get. So
I did not know that.
I really like that.
Because 3 is the magic number.
Yes. So that is Almaty. Check it out if you have a chance.
Yes. Good game.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
In my Q&A last week, some people asked me if the Dice Tower was dissolving, and I was a little confused on that. And it was pointed to me that there was a video talking about the Dice Tower going away. I'm not putting a link to this video because the video is straight trash. And in it, the person who does the video, and they mostly, if you look at their channel, they mostly just do videos about, you know, whatever thing they're angry about, but they're apparently an authority in the board game industry, and they heard from people who know that the Dice Tower was going away. They then proceeded to make some unwarranted personal attacks on Suzanne, which is uncalled for, and I denounce with as strongly of a denunciation as I can possibly do. Making personal attacks like that is rude, vulgar, and I oppose it. But yeah, so it stemmed from the fact that we are stopping the Dice Tower podcast, which, if you haven't heard, hey, the Dice Tower podcast is ending at episode 750. Tomorrow, episode 44 is going up. Episode 744, where me and Eric are joined by guest host Joe Stedman, who was the original host of the Dice Tower. Anyway, we're fading now. I noticed nobody said the Dice Tower was dissolving after I canceled 5 more great games. You know, it's just one of our shows. But I mean, maybe someone should have made a thing here. Here's the deal. First of all, we're obviously not, and I don't even really want to talk about that anymore. I'm here to talk about the Kickstarter. So we're doing the opposite of dissolving. We're continuing on. Now, I don't like to talk about raising money for the Dice Tower all year round, which is why I do it once a year. The other day, I was talking to my kids, and they had listened to a channel, and they were complaining because the channel was doing a fundraiser, and they said they just kept asking for money the whole time. And I said, yeah, I know, it's really annoying. But they only do that once a year. It's just that for once a year, PBS style, they do it very long. And it get, you know, there's that. But that's what we do here, because that is how we are funded. We get money from other sources, our conventions, YouTube income, advertising. But all that is still less than the amount that comes in from our Kickstarter. We run the Kickstarter because we have a full swath of employees here. We have 8 full-time employees at this point in time, and 4 or 6 part-time employees. There's a lot of folks working on the Dice Tower. We are bringing more people in. You've noticed Camilla and Wendy have shown up more. You've seen Chris on more videos and stuff. We're trying to do that. We pay people for the reviews and the segments that they do for our show, and we want to make the Dice Tower better. So I'm asking, if you watch Board Game Breakfast and you like our stuff, you're going to go look at the Kickstarter tomorrow, and it is overpriced nonsense there. We're giving you promos that are not really that worth what we're asking you give them, because we're not selling promos. We're not selling games. We are selling the Dice Tower. We're asking that you look at the Dice Tower as Netflix or Hulu or a streaming service, that we give you content each month. I'm pretty happy with what we did in 2021. The 4 spectaculars, the spring, summer, autumn, and winter spectacular, I think they went well. They're not stretch goals this year. They're just going to happen because we're going to continue to do that. We're going to, try to do more group stuff. To that end, let me say this is one of the last Board Game Breakfasts you're going to see that just has me in it. I'm going to start having a co-host, a rotating co-host here on Board Game Breakfast because I like having multiple people. The Dice Tower is more than Tom Vasel. I'm not involved in the Foursquare review that's happening this week. You'll notice I wasn't involved in the Team A top 10 last week, and we're going to see more of that, and we want to expand more of that. We also know that our audio needs to be worked on. I want to bring someone in to work on audio. We want to refurbish our garage here so that we have another full blast studio that's going on. We want to make things better, but we're constantly making things better. I'm constantly trying to make things better. I'm constantly thinking of new things. I stopped the podcast because I felt that we did a good job. 7:50, it's time to end. My creative juice was getting tapped there. But Eric and I are going to be starting another show called The Table, in which we are going to have a guest on the show. It's going to be here live. It's going to be on Mondays. And we're going to have a guest. We're going to talk to that guest, but not about their games and the things that they've done. We're just going to talk to them about gaming in general. We're going to talk about some games we played recently, and we're going to take user questions, and it's going to be a discussion topic, but we're not there to, I get tired of the same old interviews where, hey, Elizabeth Hargrave, what's it like, to design Wingspan? No, I want to know what Elizabeth Hargrave thinks about people who cheat at the table, or things like that. So me and Eric are going to do that, and then that show is going to be taken and put as an audio show. Then, someone in the comments said if Dice Tower would dissolve, we would hear about it from Bonacor, and he would somehow tell us it was good for the industry. But anyway, then also Dice Tower videos are put on an audio stream. Wendy is now doing that, full-time working on that, where if you go to dicetoweraudio.com for our show, DTV Audio, many of our audio shows, this one, the top 10s, our big reviews, are there in audio form. So you can listen to those podcasts. You can listen to things that hopefully work well in an audio format. So with that, and Eric's also going to be doing rundowns of short reviews on the video channel. We're hoping to end 2022 looking back and saying the Dice Tower did more. So we're not getting dissolved. What's something that you can't dissolve? We're marble. Can marble be dissolved?
Let's say no.
Titanium, unobtainium. I don't know. Anyhow, like I said, I'm going to talk more about the Dice Tower Kickstarter in today's Q&A. So if you have questions about it, I'll also do normal questions if you have them. I'll have the top 10 book. But if you're interested in backing Dice Tower Kickstarter, there's a lot of different ways to do so, and I recommend you check it out. Go to dicetowerkickstarter.com. You can be notified there when we launch. It's at noon tomorrow. I don't want to keep talking about this, but it is important because we do want to keep putting out good content for you all. And the money that you come in does pay for everyone's salaries. And I would like to point out, not making a ton of money here. So we need it, and hopefully we are giving you something that is worth it. Let's keep going.
Hi everybody,
Hello, we are Ryan and Bethany.
from Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
All right, today we're talking about Abstract Academy. In this game, you are kind of working with the other player that you're playing against to make a painting, abstract painting.
You're working with the other player that you're playing against.
Well, you're going to paint, you're creating the painting together.
Yeah.
However, at the end of the day, half of the board belongs to you, half the board belongs to them, and that's what your scoring parameters are going to be based off of. This also plays 4 players as well, so it's either 2 or 4.
Not 3.
Not 3. And it's a kind of a different setup for a 4-player game. But 2 players, which is what we played most of the time, basically half the board's mine, half the board was yours. All right, and then on top of that, every round you play 3 rounds in a game, and you have different scoring parameters. So the first round you might say you want big areas of all reds. Maybe you want the next round you want areas of a whole bunch of little small areas of yellow, or whatever the case is. You kind of have to pivot each round between different strategies so that way you kind of maximize your scoring opportunities.
Yeah, so this is really fun. It is especially fun when there comes a point in the game where this is your side and this is my side as you're playing things. And it's really fun to try and mess with the other person's scoring abilities, but then they in turn mess with you. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, it's really, really clever. It's really, really simple. This is a game that we were able to travel with really easily because it's just a small deck of cards that you lay out on the table. And this is a game that we can play on our little day dates that we go on at coffee shops and that kind of thing because it just works really well.
And what's really fun is all the scoring parameters have like different cards. Like it references artwork that I have no idea what it's talking about. But because of that, I feel like it could appeal to other people that aren't necessarily in the hobby, even just with those little phrases in there.
References like abstract artists, abstract academy.
Get it? Get it? Yeah. Well, everybody, thank you for watching. This is Ryan. I'm Bethany. You can find us on YouTube or Facebook. We're Ryan Bethany Board Game Reviews. Until then, have a happy, healthy breakfast.
Bye everybody.
Guys.
Well, hi, everybody. I'm Doug Jr.
And I'm Doug the Third.
And you're watching A Fellowship of Meeples with Doug and Doug Gaming. Although published in 2018, it was only a few months ago that I had the opportunity to play The Quacks of Quedlinburg. I introduced it to my game night folks, and it was a hit.
Quacks is a push your luck type of game where you're drawing ingredients from a bag and you're adding them to your potion. The higher the number, the farther ahead you'll place the ingredient chip on your board. If the sum of the white chips ever exceeds 7 though, your pot explodes and you're done for that round.
Along the way, you'll draw various colored ingredients which will help you advance further along or maybe reward you with victory points or gems.
The farther you go each round, the more victory points you'll score and the more money you'll have to purchase new and powerful ingredients to add to your bag. So you'll want to push along as far as possible.
Some ingredients score immediately, while others score at the end of the round. You'll keep track of points on this scoring board.
This game also offers a unique catch-up mechanism for players that might be lagging behind.
After scoring each round, you'll count the number of rat tails you cross between the lead player and those behind. You'll then place this rat token that many spaces ahead of your usual starting point and start from there this round.
Hey, that gives me a great idea for a component upgrade.
Oh, okay. Well, component upgrades are great. Anyway, the ingredient powers are randomized each game, so you have great replayability. Doug, is this your idea of a component upgrade?
1 rat tail, 2 rat tails, 3. So like the more rat tails, the better. That's the idea, right?
Yeah, sure. Hey, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on the Fellowship of Meeples.
That is too many rats. Too many rats. I took my son to the pet store the other day and explaining the difference between a rat and a mouse, which is they're both terrible and we don't want either one in the house. Alrighty, folks, thanks for watching Board Game Breakfast. We posted a lot of stuff last week, so if you missed any of that, talking about Kickstarter from last year, our final stretch goal was that we get tattooed. It happened. It happened. There's a video that shows all of it. So there's that and more. Lots of content. You'll never be able to watch all of our stuff because we'll never stop making it. But Z's coming online in 30 minutes to do a Q&A. I'll see you all at noon. Until then, I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching Board Game Breakfast on the Dice Tower.
Thanks for watching Board Game Breakfast. Tune in each week for your daily dose of gaming goodness with Tom Vasel and all the gang. Until next time, I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching Board Game Breakfast, a Dice Tower production.